Imagine walking into your local bank, just trying to get your money, your own money, and being treated like a criminal. Then, imagine those same smug clerks mocking your last name behind your back, just because it sounds foreign. Now, imagine getting revenge so perfect that their social media was in flames within hours, and they had no idea who did it. If you've ever been disrespected by someone who thought they had power over you, this story will hit home. Hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready, because this is the story of how one guy turned $3 into the sweetest revenge a bank has ever seen. I've always believed that smaller, local banks are supposed to care about their customers. You know, community values, personal touch, less bureaucracy. So when I opened an account at a tiny local credit union in my city, it felt right. They knew my name, smiled when I came in, it almost felt old-fashioned. Fast forward a few months, I'm out running errands and my debit card suddenly stops working at the ATM. The machine spits out an error message, transaction declined. My heart skips. What the? I walk inside, a little embarrassed. There's this young clerk, maybe 25, typing lazily behind the counter. She doesn't even look up when I explain the problem. Finally, with an exaggerated sigh, she gives me a 4-digit code to withdraw money directly inside. Apparently, it's some special feature they offer. I thank her, get my cash, and leave, thinking it's all sorted. Oh, how wrong I was. A few days later, I log into my online banking. Balance, $0. My stomach drops. I hadn't spent anything, no pending transactions, nothing. I call customer service, thinking it's some temporary glitch. But the rep on the line says, in that fake cheerful tone banks use, "Sir, your account has been flagged for review. You'll be unable to access your funds until our investigation is complete." What investigation? I ask. She doesn't explain, just repeats the line like a robot. Days pass, then a week, then 2, rents due, bills are piling up. I can't access a single cent of my own money. I call again, trying to stay calm. This time, the guy laughs and says, "Well, maybe you should have opened an account with a real bank." My blood boils. I can hear muffled snickers in the background. And then, one of them mispronounces my last name, twice. Not accidentally, mockingly. I hang up before I say something I'll regret. I can't even describe the mix of emotions. You know that feeling when you're powerless, when you're at the mercy of people who enjoy your suffering? Every time I called, I got another snarky response. They treated me like I was some kind of scammer. All because of an accounting error that they caused. I remember pacing around my apartment one night, fists clenched, thinking, how is this even legal? How can they just hold my life hostage like this? But I had no leverage. Or at least, I thought I didn't. I vented to my family back home, just to get it off my chest. My younger cousin, this tech-savvy kid who spends half his life on the internet, listened quietly and then said, "You know, there's this website I heard about. Russian, I think. You can pay people a few rubles to post anything online." I laughed at first. It sounded ridiculous, but the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. If the bank was going to ignore me, maybe it was time the internet didn't. His site was surreal, a mix of chaos and brilliance. You could pay people literal pennies to write posts, comments, reviews, anything. There were even filters for American-looking profiles and corporate tone. I crafted a few AI-generated posts, short, believable complaints. This credit union locked my money without reason. Terrible customer service. They're discriminatory. I spent the equivalent of $3. Within hours, the bank's Facebook, Twitter, and Google pages were flooded with angry comments and 1-star reviews. Every post they made was buried under hundreds of replies. Customers were tagging local news outlets. And somewhere in the middle of all that chaos, I smiled, for the first time in weeks. The next morning, I woke up to an unknown number calling. Normally, I would have ignored it. But something told me to pick up. "Hello, good morning. This is Kare, the call center manager from bank name. We wanted to reach out personally regarding your account." Her tone had changed completely. Polite, professional, a little nervous. "We understand your frustration," she continued, "and we'd like to resolve this immediately." I could practically hear the PR alarm bells ringing in the background. I stayed calm. "Funny," I said, "you weren't this helpful 2 weeks ago." She stammered a bit and finally said, "We're ready to release your full balance today. Plus, we'd like to offer a $50 goodwill payment for the inconvenience." $50. It wasn't much, but it was an admission. They were scared. Within hours, my money was transferred to my new account at another bank. I was free. As for their social media, still burning, hundreds of posts, comments, fake reviews, and not a single one of them traced back to me. They probably realized the smartest move was to just let it go. I couldn't even delete the chaos if I wanted to. The Russian service had no undo button. So, I did the only thing left to do. I laughed. I used to think the system always protects the powerful. But sometimes, all it takes is a little creativity and $3 to remind them who really holds the power. If that revenge hit the spot, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more stories just like this. And tell me in the comments, what's the pettiest or most satisfying revenge you